everyone. We are from group 5.
I hope everyone had their lunch.
And I hope Dr. Shamli's voice is okay.
Okay, so in this video, we're going to show you a little experiment about practical psychometry. Enjoy!
Let's start it!
Imagine walking outside after it rains. The air feels heavy, right? That's called humidity. But how do we measure it? Psychometry is the science of measuring the humidity by using a wet and dry bulb. Let's understand this by building your own psychometer.
Hi Tom, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm doing my experiment. Our experiment is intended to simulate a white bulb thermometer. We use an ordinary thermometer and shake it to simulate a dry bulb. Another thermometer wrapped with wet cotton to simulate a wet bulb. The purpose of wrapping wet cotton is to simulate evaporative cooling. After shaking, by comparing their temperature difference, we can estimate the humidity. Look, in open area, we can get the dry bulb and wet bulb readings like this.
Oh, it's really hot here. I'm leaving now. Bye-bye. Hi Tom, have you finished your experiment?
Actually, not yet. I need different data from 3 different locations. In our experiment, we need to conduct tests in 3 different environments, which are open area, air-conditioned room, and bathroom. In air-conditioned room, we can get a dry bulb and wet bulb data like this. So that's all the details of our experiments.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Do you want to come with me?
Of course.
Go.
Okay.
Then we came to the bathroom where the humidity was close to saturation. As before, we got the following data like this. Hopefully all experiments are done. Let me share the result to Labiba.
Psychometry sounds like a magic spell, right? But it's actually the science of air and the water vapor. In this project, we barely entered the 3 different boil zones, which is air-conditioned room, the bathroom, and the open area, to measure something invisible, which is humidity. Here we found with our 2 trusted tools, the dry bulb and the wet bulb thermometers. When the wet one gets chilly, it means it's sweating because the evaporation is happening, and that tells us like how thirsty the air is. So we check like how much cooler the wet bulb was in each spot. That's called depression. Wait, depression? This is not the depression we are gonna talking about. Bioprocess is already depressed, I know. Not the emotional one. So let's see our tables. So for examples, in the open area, the dry bulb was 32.1 degrees Celsius. But the wet bulb dropped all the way to 25.5 degrees. That means loss of evaporation happened. The air was dry enough to absorb the water vapor. In the bathroom, the depression was only 3.9 degrees Celsius. Less evaporation, which means more moisture already in the air. We use the psychometric chart to estimate the relative humidity based on the depression values. Since we built the DIY version, the values are approximate. So what does this tell us? In this bathroom, 80% RH, very humid as expected. Air-conditioned room, 70%, moderate humidity, and cooler and drier. Open area, 65%, the driest of all due to hot air increasing the evaporation.
So why did the water level in wet bulb drop? That is due to evaporative cooling. So the wet cotton we attach to the thermometer, it will cool the thermometer as the water evaporates.
Okay, so on the other side, the dry bulb thermometer doesn't cool because there is no evaporation happening at all. So the temperature on the dry bulb stays stable and is higher than the wet bulb thermometer.
This difference helps us measure humidity. If the temperature of the wet bulb drops a lot, that means there are more evaporation and the air is drier. If the temperature of the wet bulb doesn't drop that much, that means the air is humid.
Even though we didn't use psychrometer, we have just demonstrated the same science using alcohol thermometer.
In this experiment, we learned how simple material can demonstrate real scientific principles. Psychometry might sound complex, but all it takes is just a thermometer to measure the air humidity. Thank you.
Thanks for watching!
Stay cool and be humid.